have the pleasure of interviewing the legend, the star of Curb Your Enthusiasm. People think the show is about Larry, but if you watch the show, Larry wouldn't be nothing without Leon Black, Mr. JB Smoove. How you doing, brother?
Hello, baby, in the building.
Thank you for coming in, man. So, well, I really feel like we're gonna start talking about your new book, The Book of Leon. It's out there everywhere you can get a book at.
Everybody can get a book at.
Some
audio, and you can get the hardcover. How about that?
Did you read the audio book?
I read the audiobook. Hey, I'm
up in the studio.
I'm going fire on that audiobook. Straight fire with the audiobook. Come on now.
So everywhere
Leon
you can get a book at, you can pick this up, man.
Oh, man.
And so I want to start off by asking you, because what's going on right now? We got tough political times right now.
Yeah.
I just want to know, why the Book of Leon? Why now?
Number one, the Book of Leon. Leon's always been this opinionated guy, and I think the world is in this perfect place right now. We had this window where Curb was coming back, but nobody knew if Curb was coming back or not. People wonder if Curb was coming back.
We was hungry, man. We was way up in that, man.
I'm telling you, Curb was going, 5, 6 years, and it didn't even feel like 5 or 6 years. So many things were happening in the world. Larry did a play. Larry did a movie called Clear History. I was in that movie with him. He did the Bernie Sanders stuff all on SNL.
Yeah, Clear History was about the guy who invented the smart car or something, right?
We all were busy also. I did a movie, I did Barbershop, I did Almost Christmas, I did a bunch of appearances on a bunch of TV shows. So a lot of things happened in those 5 years that while Curb was gone. And it's easy to think Curb was done when season 8 we ended up in Paris. We was chilling in Paris. Larry got ran out of New York.
Right.
So we ended up in Paris.
He had a lot of beef in New York. Rosie O'Donnell, Michael J. Fox,
the Tonys. Everybody was on Larry. Larry couldn't get away. So Larry had to leave the country and go to Paris, man. Now, you would think that'd be a good time to say, you know what, Larry ain't never coming back to the States.
Right.
Maybe it's over. Maybe the Curb run is over. But you know what, man? We came back season 9, brother. Let me tell you something. In these times that we are in right now, and it doesn't even matter about the times. It matters about how you adjust to the times. That's the main thing about the times. Of course, everybody's PC. Everybody has all these opinions about everything nowadays.
Right.
But Curb is such a staple, man. It's already locked in. If Curb came back and Curb wasn't the Curb you remember the Curb being, you'd be upset. You'd be mad. Like, yo, Curb pulled back. Larry pulling back. Oh man, Larry's not being as analytical. Larry's not being as focused on what's going on in the world, on little quirks that bug him. If Larry came back all docile and not as Larry as he would be.
The show was a good show, but when the Black family came, it became a great show. I feel like y'all brought the sauce that it needed. Because as a kid, I remember Seinfeld, but Seinfeld was huge all over the world, but it really wasn't hitting the projects like that. And when Curb came out, they were saying, yo, this is the guy that invented Seinfeld. Seinfeld is an amazing show. And I'm like, yo, what's Seinfeld about again? I didn't remember, but then when I started watching the show, I thought it was funny. And then when you guys came in, came in, man,
I think.
I was sick when I thought you was leaving. When they were like, we moving out, Larry. LD, we out. And it was like, you too, Leon? He's like, yeah, I got a little boo, man.
It was like, nah, I got my Chinese food. I'm about to go in my room, chill out. So, yeah, you know what? I think it's one of those things where I think it's all across the board, though. You think about this. If this Black family came to Curb Your Enthusiasm and they brought a new demographic to the show, I always feel like that definitely happened. It opened up a lot of new eyes, but also opened Black eyes. It opened more hip people. It opened more a range of different people. But also take the blessings in this. As popular as Curb is, it also brought a lot of people of the opposite race to also watch Real Husbands, to go to the movies and watch Barbershop, to catch me in Barbershop, to catch me in Almost Christmas. So I take those viewers also. On the other side, I take these new viewers coming to Curb to expand the demographics of Curb, but I'll also take those new people from Curb and going over to check out other stuff and open their eyes more. I think that's what the show did.
Right.
I think bringing the Black family on the show also opened the eyes to another world, man. How we think, what we laugh at, what we find to be funny, and Larry's reactions to it was genuine and hilarious. And that's a lot of real stuff on that show. You think there's a lot of acting, of course, improv, but there's a lot of things Larry didn't know about. I didn't know what the hell getting that ass meant.
Right.
I didn't know what the hell getting that ass was. I first told him. He was like, what?
Now, you know what helped me in life, you know, from that show, and I had to thank you guys to help me. Like the reason why I'm sitting here today.
Right.
Black guy with glasses. That black guy with glasses got me out some trouble, man.
Yeah,
Police pulled me over, man. I'm looking through the gun. I'm not looking for my license.
Woo!
I'm not looking for the license.
I'm
not trying to bribe him. I'm looking for the glasses.
Glasses,
so the glasses right on. Hey, officer, what's going on, man? Like, why you?
It's crazy, man. That's a crazy take on the world, man. That just show you where the world is at, man. Put a pair of glasses on, change the whole thing.
Change everything.
Change everything. Changes everything.
So Larry's a writer. You know, this is your first book.
Yeah.
Did he have any advice? Because I feel like normally Leon gives Larry advice.
Man.
When I thought about Leon writing the book, I thought about Leon giving Larry the advice so Larry could turn around and give him the advice.
That's true. So what happened with this book was originally I was going to write a J.B. Smoove book. It was going to be a regular J.B. Smoove book, you know.
Just like your life story, like coming up in Mount Vernon, moving to the South.
A lot of cool stuff. Yeah, everything I've ever done, you know, leading up from me hopping on stage at a talent show in college and getting that bug from the crowd, you know, and coming back home, you know, over the summer. And
your first show was a success. Your first show was a big success, or?
No, my first show was terrible.
Okay.
But you know, I think I needed that to figure out who I wanted to be on stage. So I wasn't sure who I wanted to be, but I had funny stuff, but I didn't have it. It wasn't focused enough. You know what I mean? And I leaned, and now, you know, I don't lean on the jokes anymore. I lean on my personality because anybody can tell a joke. It's if it's your view of it that makes it different. It makes it yours, make it funny. Your signatures on it, you know. So, you know, for me, it was this thing where, you know, I wanted to make sure this book was full of all the fun things people love about Leon, you know, because, you know, when you start writing a book, you know, based on on yourself. And then I thought to myself, I would love to do a Leon book, but I didn't think I could because I knew that I didn't own the character. It's a character owned by HBO.
Right.
So I said, you know what, I wonder if I could do it. And then I was on set one day, I was telling Larry, we were just shooting a scene, and I said, you know, I'm writing a book. Oh, he said, oh, that's cool. And then Larry said, you know what, you should write a Leon book. And I said, Larry, I've been thinking about that.
People love Leon,
but
man.
I wasn't sure if I
they
could do it.
love J.B. Smoove, but they love Leon.
Yeah. But then Larry said, you know what? Yeah, you can do it. I said, oh, man, that's great. So I had to call HBO, let them know I'm thinking about doing a Leon book to coincide with the release of the new season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. So we had to like really do double time to make it work to hit that deadline. But we made it happen, man. You know, and him saying that to me, you know, it was a bunch of different versions of this book of how I wanted to present it. At first, I was gonna make it a little table book, a bunch of Leon photos, like Leon through history.
Right.
I was gonna have Leon as a caveman with the do-rag on, with his, you know, he was kind of chilling with some rock flip-flops on or something like that, like on the Flintstones. From Leon, from the beginning of time all the way through the present, I was gonna have all these photos of Leon with different Leonisms that fit the time period. You know, I was gonna do that.
I mean, even with the cover though, it looks
it's biblical.
Like the anointed dude from your neighborhood, the anointed uncle from your neighborhood with the white do rag, with the white scarf on, with the white tube socks.
Ooh, come on, man. So you know, so that's what happened, man. I you know, and thinking about that, I said, you know what, this could be a cool book, man. And then started writing it, putting it together. But then I changed the tone of it, and I said, I'm gonna make a book. I'm gonna talk to you like I talked to Larry. All the people who are reading the book, I think they love the interaction between Larry and Leon. So I'm gonna write this book in the tone of, I'm gonna pretend that you, the reader, are Larry, or you, the person listening to the audio book, you're Larry, and I'm giving you life advice on what I would do. I'm not telling you this right for everybody. And I say in the book, I said, look, this book ain't for everybody. This book will ruin your life. If you got structure to your life and your life is straight, you got a good job, you got a lady you love, you know, this might not be the book for you. But it still might be a good book for you to read to know what the hell is out there in the world and what Leon feels is bringing the ruckus.
Just think you got your own guardian angel.
You got to have it. That's what he does with Larry, man. I mean, Larry getting into some crazy stuff. And I think with Leon there, it evens Larry out a little bit. Larry sees another take. Otherwise, he wouldn't come to Leon with that, with all his shit, telling him stuff. You know, that way Leon can give his take and tell him what he would do. You know, not saying it's gonna work for you, Larry, but I'll tell you what I would do if it was me.
For me, it's the simple stuff. Like, what you in there doing? Oh, I'm lapping.
I'm lapping.
Hey, what do you have? Oh, that shirt is boss. Yeah, I have that boss. You got it.
Boss shit. You use boss no more? No, I would never say that shit. I wouldn't even say boss by mistake. But I think he needs that dude. He needs that dude, Leon, to balance himself out. It's that yin and yang, you know what I mean? That kind of yin and yang kind of feels between the two characters. They both got a little bit. They both are tall, lanky dudes, but they're from different worlds, man. You know, I think Larry needs to know a little bit about that, his world, and vice versa.
And the cool thing is you see how it's so easy for these worlds to come together.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we all thought that we're so different, but we have so many things in common.
Exactly.
If we take time to really get a full understanding of
It
that.
really is, man. And we have these moments where we have an exchange of ideas on the set all the time. And I think it's funny that since the show is improv-based show, we get the outline, 7 or 8-page outline, and it's improv-based, you get a chance to create your own storylines, which I think is a fun thing to do. Like sometimes we'll do something, I'll say something, and I won't even address it because I want them to use it for another episode. Like even in the first episode when I said constipated, what do you mean she was constipated?
Shot a porno constipated.
I thought a porno constipated, you know, and Larry said, you shot a porno? But I ignored him, you know why? Because I want that to be a seed. I don't want that to be, take over that moment, because I could have went 1,000 ways with, yeah, I shot a porno, you know what I mean? And there is a take where I say, no, only 3.
But there's really people out here.
I say only 3.
There's really people out here that do stuff like take off work because they're constipated. That's
right.
Really funny.
People do that.
Yeah.
It get clogged up, man. It clogs up everything. Your ass clogged up and your brain get clogged up. You can't function, can't work like that.
So this question, this might hurt a little bit. This one might hurt a little bit. This might be a tough one.
Okay.
What would Leon tell the Knicks, man? The Knicks been rebuilding forever, man. They've been rebuilding since Jerry Curls was out.
Leon would have said like this, he'd have put his hand on his chest, and would have said, you guys should have started rebuilding a long time ago and told everybody you were rebuilding directly and brought some veterans in here to show these young players how to fucking play. You can't sit here, young people can't learn from young people. They just can't do it. A young player cannot learn from a young player. You got to get some quality veterans in here. This is New York City. This is one of the biggest markets in the world. This is New York City. There's no damn way in the world we should have a team that's half-assed. You know, we should have a great team here. You know, win or lose, it should be a good team on the court. Or you give us something to hold us over until you build that damn team. Right. Like Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson would have kept the fans at least engaged. And it's like he's a home guy.
Right.
He would have been on the sidelines.
Played for the Knicks. Yeah.
Played for the Knicks, man. Oh, Mark Jackson would have been perfect. Get the fans something until you can give the fans something until you can give the fans what the fuck we need.
I would tell the Knicks to never ever say you rebuilding. Just one day surprise us.
Just do it.
Show us.
No, just do stuff.
Yeah.
Don't ever telegraph. Certain things you cannot telegraph unless you really intend and you got real stuff in the works, and then you go from there, right? You say something, like, it's like telling a lady, I'm about to tear your ass up, and you get out there and be like, your ass sleep. That Henny got your ass knocked the fuck out. See, you done talked a good game, but you ain't gonna do a damn thing.
So how does it feel? How does it feel having a book out? You know, I know it's probably not the same feeling as some of the other things you've already done with your career.
You know what? This is a first, which is great. And I'm gonna tell you, because it's a first, you know, and because people love the character so much, I want to make sure I wrote in Leon's voice. So this book is written in Leon's voice. Everything that his Leonisms, his way of, even you're gonna notice there's so many words in there that Leon would say. You know, there's some slang in there. There's a bunch of, but
it's a lot. Like if you just tuning in, I'm talking to JB Smoove about the book of Leon. If you have any questions, feel free to join the conversation.
Yeah,
We're here to talk about everything. Like this is a great book. It's hilarious. It's funny, man. Have you cracking up on the train? Little dude in the train looking like what you laughing at? He wanted to act real bad, but like you know, I figured he could see the cover.
Yeah,
so
put
2 and 2 together.
Yeah. So this book is, I tell you, the book is not for everybody. You know, I always say that, you know, it's not a kid book, of course. You shouldn't let your kid, but there is some philosophy in there that you can apply to your raising of your children. You know, nobody knows if Leon has an abundance of kids or not, or if he has any kids at all. Leon actually doesn't have any kids, but Leon acknowledges what raising kids would be like. And this book it goes from what I call one chapter is called Peepees and Johnsons. It goes from Peepees and Johnsons all the way through your life, all the way to kaput. And kaput means that's your death. That means somewhere between your death and your pee-pee and your Johnson, you got to make a life for yourself. And that's what this book takes you on, a nice little journey of how he feels your life can be. You know, but Leon's a stress-free dude, man. This dude here, he ain't got no problems. He ain't got no problems, man. I know he lives in Larry's house, but he ain't got no goddamn problems. And I intentionally wrote it.
And the new house is detached, so now he don't even got to be in the same under the same roof.
Guest house. Larry gonna.
He figured out a way to beat the system.
Larry will say it ain't my shit, but I always tell Larry that's my guest house. That's my shit. You know.
So how similar is Leon to JB Smoove?
You know how I say?
JB
work.
JB always at work.
JB always at work, man. JB's a little more stylish. I will say this much. I always say there's a lot of Leon in JB, but there's no JB in Leon. You know, and that means that everybody should have a little bit of ruckusness to their life because things happen every day. You gotta know how to handle certain things. You gotta know how to defend yourself. Like when I told Larry to get in that ass, right? I told Larry to get in that ass. I didn't want Larry to go out there and fight the dude. I want Larry to get in his ass. Which is a whole different thing. A whole different thing, getting in somebody's ass as opposed to fighting somebody. Larry ain't no goddamn fighter. So I told Larry, next time you see that dude, you get in that ass, Larry. Let that man know you a man. At least let him know you a man. Even if he knocked your ass out, at least he knew you was a man.
I feel like JB would never wear a do-rag with a bald head.
No.
What can happen from wearing a do-rag? I feel like you wear a do-rag with a bald head, you might get waves on your scalp.
You might get waves on your scalp. Get a little pack of hot dogs on the back of your head. You know how people see people doing this? Be a little pack of hot dogs back there. But, no, of course he wouldn't. You know, that doesn't even match. You know, but I think when you sit down and you read this book, you're gonna realize that this book is definitely written in his voice. I mean, hell, when I wrote this book, I would sit down, put my do-rag on, put my slippers on, put my little robe on with no damn belt. You know, Leon never had a belt. People don't notice that. Leon never had a belt on his robe. His robes are always no belt. So he always got to do this. He always got to do this right here. You know what I mean? That's why
you're gonna see like 100 belt robes.
That's why he always hold his hand like that. Yeah. And I you know what? And I intentionally did that. When I went to wardrobe, I said I don't want no belt. I want to be able to sit down, want that shit to flop open once in a while. You know. So I always say I want to be able to do this right here. Always hold it together. He would think like, why don't you put a belt on that shit? You know what I mean? Leon he never could keep up with his belts to his robe. So every robe I ever wore on the show, I never have a belt. That was intentional. But there's little things you can do like that just to get people to look at it. You know, if you ask that, that might be a question on Jeopardy one day. Right. Leon Black, the character from Curb Your Enthusiasm, never had this in his robe.
What is a belt?
What is a belt?
What is a belt? 300.
What is a belt, Alex?
Alex, I'm gonna go with belts. I'm gonna go with belts for 200.
That guy never has a belt on. That's what it is, man. You want to channel the character, and give people what they love about him so much. He's lovable, but at the same time, he's blunt, a little misogynistic. He has a bunch of things going on, but he's in a perfect pocket where he is him. He is who he is, and he's just giving you some advice. He's not telling you to change your life. Don't fuck your household up with this book. Don't go bring too much of this knowledge to your lady, But this book is for anybody. It's for women. It's for guys. There's a bunch of everything in here. Ladies should know what the hell's going on in a guy's head, and a guy should know how to handle a lady and get into her brain and tap dance on her brain a little bit, That's what Leon said, man. Leon's about bringing that ruckus, man, tapping that ass.
So tell us what's going on, like where we can find you at as far as like tour dates and what's coming up, and you got some stuff going on in New York, or
everything's going on right now, man. It's such a good time to do some cool stuff. We're 4 episodes in on Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's an amazing, fun book right here, man. It's gonna be great for now. It's gonna be great for the holidays. You know how many people this is gonna bless, this damn book, man. Tell a friend about the book. It's an audio. It's in hardcover. I got the JB Smoove Lollygagging Tour. The second stop's going to be Richmond, Virginia. That's next weekend. That's going to be so fun to do that, man. My stand-up is my bread and butter. I love my stand-up, man. I like the immediate response from my audience, man. So the stand-up is always fun to do, and just like on Curb and my stand-up, I don't make a plan when I'm doing my stand-up. I like to go on stage and kind of see what the crowd. I work with anything I'm given. So for me, everything's a part of the show. The microphone, how big the stage is, what kind of walls behind. Is there a wall behind me? Is there a curtain behind me? Is there lighting? Is the microphone powerful? Because it's a long cord. All these things are things that I incorporate into my show. So every show's a little different. You'll see me in Richmond. You'll see me in Florida. You'll say, damn, he changed that joke around. I didn't really change a bit. It's just that I go by what I hear from the audience. They're laughing at a certain thing, my brain starts turning. I start adding more stuff to it.
Right.
You know, I love the improv, so I love to add stuff to it. And I write on stage. I don't just.
So you're a game time guy. You're not a prep guy.
Nah,
check me in.
I don't like plans like that.
Right.
Plans are meant to be broken. And when you lock yourself into a plan, you have no other options. If you have the plan at your disposal, that's different. But if you have the plan and you're going by the ladder, this is exactly going to happen.
Exactly.
You get on that stage. What if your best bit that you have doesn't get the laugh you expected? What do? You panic. Oh, that's my best bit.
Yeah, I had to pivot before. I was giving the talk in Arkansas, and I made it was a book talk.
Right.
I made a joke about how the cereal from like Whole Foods and Trader Joe, how it gets soggy too quick. And the whole crowd was looking like, that's Whole Foods. What is Trader Joe's? So I had to bust a move.
Had to bust a move.
Yeah, I had to bust a move.
So there is no if you lean on the plan will get you, bite you in the ass sometimes. So, I sell myself I sell my personality, I sell the fun, I sell the event, I sell everything that needs to be sold, and then I had the bullets in the holster. These ain't gonna go nowhere. These are always at my disposal.
Right.
I can pull these out anytime I want to pull one out, put it in the gun, and just hit you with it. You know what I mean? I don't have to rely on the bullets. Cause I can do 15, 20 minutes without doing one written joke. Because I feel like, I gotta first focus on the obvious. If it's snowing outside, I gotta talk about the snow. If my hotel raggedy as hell, I gotta talk about my hotel. If my way here, we got stopped by the police, I gotta talk about that. Everything should be a part of where they are. You're visiting their city. If I know there's a cool statue in the middle of the city, I'm gonna talk about that statue.
That's a gift to be able to respond.
That opens them up a little bit, and they have a good time, and they show that you can attach your personality to anything you see.
I'm gonna publicly forgive you for what you did to Pootie Tang. So I'm gonna forgive you for that. But one more time. Tell everybody where they can get the book from.
Any place they sell books. The Book of Leon, Philosophy of a Fool, is available. It's a fun book. It's open your mind up, sit on down, have a good time, laugh on the train with the audio book. Sit on down. Put this book in your liquor cabinet so your kids don't get it. But hey, but it's a fun book, man. You're gonna learn a lot, and I appreciate all the Curve fans out there.
Yeah.
We definitely appreciate the love. Leon appreciates the love, and I will definitely tell Leon personally how much you guys love him. And we're going to bring that ruckus. We're going to keep that dizzle going. We're going to plant these seeds. We're going to enjoy our lives. And we appreciate the laughter. Yes, indeed. And check out, a lot of people notice that JB's always very stylish. Please check out my line coming out called the Jerry Angelo Collection. Jerry Angelo, my real first name, my real middle name. Jerry Angelo Collection is coming at you soon. Wallets, belts, shoes, watches, all the cool stuff like that. Glasses, hats, you name it, it's going to be there. I'm about to fix you dudes.